Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of GM Fantasy. I'm Paul, and in today's video, we're going to take a look at the season finale of the behind the scenes of a contract league. So let's take a look. So just like the last video, we had the season finale of the GM Fantasy Charter League, and then in this video, we're going to have the season finale of the behind the scenes of a contract league series. We'll go briefly over who made the playoffs, we'll go over the matchups, and see who was crowned champion. And then we'll talk a little bit about the future of the league. So we'll start off with the FOB league. And as you guys can see here, Ricky football team finished first place at 13-2. Montreal Elites, myself at 11-4. We had Vinny come in at 9-6 for third, and then Leatherface 9-6 for fourth. Had Hurt season won his last matchup, he would have been in the playoffs, but he took a loss, and Leatherface was able to back his way in. So we'll take a quick look at the results for the playoffs. So we'll go to week 16. And unfortunately, I ended up taking a huge loss to Vinny. Vinny took me out 178 to 168. And then Leatherface was able to take care of Ricky 164 to 138. Two glaring things for me is Kamani Vidal only 1.1 points, and then Dalton Kincaid with a big fat donut. Had I, put any of my replacements in, Parker Washington or Tajay Spears or even AJ Barner, I would have won. But, Vinny could have had the same excuse. He had players on his bench that he could have put in as well. So potential points, 233 to 218. So had we put our perfect lineups in, Vinny would have taken it anyway. Just a heartbreaking loss because I had such a great year, finishing second and just a first round exit. That's fantasy for you, and hopefully next year I can turn that around. And then in the other semi-final matchup, we had Leatherface and Ricky football team. Ricky was dominating all year, first place, and then just like me, shits the bed in the first round of the playoffs. And not much he could have done. As you can see here, his potential points was 192 compared to Leatherface's 216. But had he put in Trevor Lawrence, obviously he would have taken the victory, because I don't think he would have benched Lamar Jackson for either Purdy or something, because Lamar was scheduled to have it was a good matchup for Lamar that week. But it is what it is, and congratulations to Leatherface and Vinny for making the finals. We'll take a look at how that went, and as we can see here, Vinny ended up taking it 175 to 134. He had, a very strong outing for the finals. His potential was 191, and Leatherface's would have been 168. So Vinny would have taken that regardless. And, when you have performances like, 32, 35 points, Chase Brown with 27, his tight ends getting 12 and 18 points. He had a solid week. And, unfortunately for Leatherface, his big guys were letting him down. Jameer only had 5 points. DJ Moore only 1.2, Walker only 4.7. So, congratulations to Vinny. I think this was the first time he's taken down the league, so I'm sure he's really stoked about that. He had a great season. He made the playoffs, played the right guys when it mattered, and took home the trophy. So congratulations to Vinny. We'll see if he can repeat that next year. Now we'll go to the Old Timers League, and we'll go over the standings again. So I finished first place in this one at 12-3. I had a phenomenal season. Guns and Burrows finished second place. Ganja Warriors at third. And then Pokerface slipped into the playoffs last second at fourth place. Had big time won his matchup he would have been in, but he lost. And Pokerface won. But Pokerface also had to outscore him by 30 points, which he did. So Pokerface sneaks into the playoffs, and these are going to be the final four. So we'll take a look at how this one went as well. Weekly results, we'll go to week 16. And just like in another one, another heartbreaking loss for me. Another first round exit. Pokerface had his best week of the season by far at 255, and then I had my worst week by far, 149. It has to be in the first round of the playoffs, but that's fantasy for you. You just never know what's going to happen. Luck is a thing. But, hopefully next year I could, maintain first place and then take the championship. Was hoping to do back-to-back this year. It wasn't to be the case. And then in the next matchup, we had Ganja Warriors against Guns and Burrows, and it was 226 to 182. Didn't matter what I did. to be honest, my potential was 186 and his was 256. He just had a monster week, you know, like Drake May 40 points, Rogers 27, Kenneth Gainwell had a big game at 25, Genty huge game at 36, Bijan 29, Puka on Thursday got him 40, Pickens 22. You know, Harrison had a solid, you know, performance for a kicker at 12 points. It was just, I was going to get destroyed no matter what, you know, especially when my best player goes for 12 points. Jacobs only gets 8. Javonte gets injured and only gives me 7. Kels has 1.1 points. The Broncos defense only gets me 3. It's just really unfortunate. And then same thing here. You know, had Ganja Warriors had his best lineup, he would have scored 266, and Gunza would only have got 224. So, you know, here we had Trevion Henderson. I think that was the game he got a concussion. Jadon Naylor, you know, he just didn't have anyone really to start. He could have started Demario Douglas or Juwan. Wait, did he have 2 tight ends already? Yeah, he already had 2 tight ends. So he could have only started, you know, Demario Douglas. So that wouldn't have changed much for Jadon Naylor. And then Ferguson, he could have started Juwan Johnson. But, you know, Ganja Warriors also had a great week. You know, Goff at 40, Prescott 29, you know, Chase Brown 33, Saquon 25. Just solid performances, you know, pretty much. And you had a few guys here underperform, but it didn't matter. And so congratulations to Ganja Warriors and Poker Face. So we'll take a see who gets the championship. And we have here Poker Face ends up taking it from squeezing in to 4th place to taking down the whole thing. Congratulations, 199 to 177. And yeah, had the potentials there, 209 to 197. So Poker Face had the perfect lineup, would have won, even if Ganja had his perfect lineup. Drake May, MVP for Poker Face, another 40-point performance. Bijan with another huge performance, 41. Pretty much came down to these two guys because the rest of his team just did average at best. You know, Trey McBride had a good game, but the rest of his team did absolutely nothing pretty much. But Bijan and Drake May pretty much took it for him. And because Ganja had a decent week, you know, like he had a bad performance out of Drake London, but the rest of his team did pretty well. And that's how these leagues ended up going. Now we're going to go into the off season. We're going to have the RFAs that we're going to have to take care of, which is the restricted free agency. So we're going to have to put tenders on certain players that are becoming RFAs. Then after that, we're going to have the UFA period, which is the unrestricted free agents. So we're going to have a big bidding wars like we do every year. So that's going to be exciting. We also got the NFL draft coming up soon, and we'll find out where the rookies are going. And then we'll have our own rookie draft in August to, you know, round out how our teams are going to be. So, you know, plenty of things to come out, you know, for the off season. I'll make updates here and there for the, you know, the season 2 of behind the scenes of a contract league. So stay tuned to that. And we're going to have different content on, you know, the rookies coming out and the nuances of how to manage your contract league during the off season. So stick around for that, guys. There's going to be plenty more to come. And don't forget, we also still have that free contest going on. It's a free $50 entry into the next contract league on League Tycoon. It's going to be a carbon copy of the league that we had in the last video of the GM Fantasy Charter League. So if you guys are interested, you know, it's super simple to enter. All you got to do is like the video, subscribe to the channel, put the word subscribed in the comments section, and then you'll send a screenshot of that to me on either my X account or my email address. I'll get back to you. I'll let you know you've been entered into the contest, and then we'll have a draw on August 1st to determine the lucky winner. And if we end up getting to 1,000 subscribers by August 1st, I will sponsor an entire league. So we'll have 9 lucky winners plus myself into a 10-man league. So don't miss your chance, guys. It's free to enter, nothing to lose. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.